Okay. I have no idea, but you know what?
Is he wearing a pink or an orange shirt to class?
Except Jeremy should be coming, but we'll see.
Wait, what happened?
Okay, finding the discriminant. This is day one. I know it sounds like a strange thing, and it is kind of. It's a way to look at parabolas. And really, you guys, there's three things, Cole, and Jake, you sit over there.
You know it snowed.
Yeah, I didn't wear my flip-flops.
Aren't your feet cold?
I was going to say, you must have.
You mean
Jake,
feces?
you're in the recording. No, over there, because you're not fine next to Cole. So, no, Jake, then go to the SBI room. It's fine. No. Okay. Okay, you guys. Shh. Lalo. Okay, you guys. Parabolas. Okay, parabolas. You know what parabolas look like? We did. We graphed y equals x squared, right? So there are three things that can happen with parabolas. They could come down here and touch the x-axis in 2 points. Okay, Henry?
Yeah.
They could come here and touch the parabola in 1 point. You've seen some of those? Okay, Lalo?
Yes, definitely the x-axis.
Or they might not touch the x-axis at all. Okay?
Why?
Because that may just be what the graph looks like. This might be y equals x squared plus 1. And we can put them on graphing calculators. Okay, Cole? This is the whole point of the lesson. If you don't get this part, you're going to be saying, why are we doing this? And it's still going to be abstract. Okay? So we don't need any iPads. We're going to put them all away.
No, let me.
Nope, because you won't keep it closed.
That was evil.
I know. These, where this crosses, there's a lot of words for these. You guys remember what that is?
X-intercept.
X-intercepts. That's one word.
I knew that one.
They're also called roots. They're also called zeros. Okay, so I might ask you any one of those words. How many roots does a quadratic equation have?
2.
Well, no, not always.
4.
Because you've got never 4.
Um,
Look at it. Can you think, can you get more?
2, 0, 1.
What if I had, this is a cubic equation. What about this one? How many does this have? 1.
3.
Okay, that's y equals x cubed plus some other stuff with it. This tells you how many you might have. Tells you how many roots there might be, okay, Taylor? That's the fundamental theorem of algebra. Doesn't guarantee you will have 3, but you might have 3. Okay, we're going to wait for Lalo. I'm going to bring up my graphing calculator. Let's graph y equals x squared plus 1. So I'm going to go into y equals. I'm going to clear that out. And let's do y equals x squared. And we're going to press. I'm going to zoom it 4 because that gives me nice numbers when I trace on it. So if I press trace, see x equals 0, then x equals 0.1. Very nice numbers. But there it is. How many roots? Okay? 1. Let's do now y equals x squared plus 1. Because you don't know this yet, but you will if you take enough math. X squared plus 1, that x squared, this plus 1 is going to shift my graph up by 1 unit. And there it is. How many roots does that have?
1, 2.
Right up here.
1.
Doesn't have any, does it?
No.
Roots are where it crosses the x-axis. So let's do y equals x squared, no, minus 2. We'll graph it. I'm going to, oh, I don't like this. Let's do the large screen. Okay.
His bubble pop. His balloon.
Yeah, you were. No, 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 no. You guys, what you're doing is not okay. We have 9 weeks of school left. We have a lot to cover.
Come on, Besky.
What?
You get to see your God, man. Dude.
9 weeks of school. Only 9 weeks.
It's called
Okay.
Besky.
Pardon? I don't know. Okay, you guys, how many roots does this other one have?
That's not a page. Doing about it.
Guys, you're being really rude to me.
Why?
And you're rude to the other people in this class. And Alex, put your phone away. I don't know why it has to be a struggle every day. And Cole, if you think it's funny, it's not. You're laughing. I'm saying this is not okay. I don't want to hear anything from anybody. If you're going to talk, I'll send you to the SBI room. If you don't get to the SBI room, then you get extra hours. There's no excuse for this. I'm trying to teach a lesson, and you guys are making jokes. You don't even know what I'm talking about. What am I talking about? Okay, what about them?
About what we have to do with this stuff.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about. We're looking for, and Taylor, iPad down. No, down. Put away. Put it in your backpack, under your seat. I don't care. Can you what? I have pencils. But I don't get them back, so I'm getting kind of low on pencils.
You know how weird that would be to compare
I'm tempted to send it home. Very easy to do, because it's on Schoology. It will be on Schoology. This video. These are, what do you call these?
X-intercept.
X-intercepts. Now, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because when I show you the discriminant, you're going to be going, what are you doing? Because it's so abstract. This is our goal. Yes. No, I took them off. Because some people were just copying them and not doing the work.
Why would they do such a
I don't know. It's kind of a stupid thing to do. Okay. Please let's not interrupt. We are going to look at a quadratic equation. That's y equals x squared. And we're going to see, by just looking at the equation, how many times the parabola will cross the graph. Okay, Henry?
Yeah.
How many times does it cross here?
1, 0, 2.
2. 1, 2.
0.
This is 1, and there's none.
Yeah,
Okay. So we're going to turn the page, and this is complicated. Okay, this part right here, this part I have right in here is called the discriminant. Not with the square root, but just the b squared minus 4ac. Henry, do you need to sharpen your pencil, please?
I did.
Okay, then you need to write this down. This is the discriminant right there. We are working towards solving this equation where this is 0. We're looking for the places where the parabola crosses the x-axis. They're not always nice like what we've done before. Remember when we did things that factored? Unfortunately, they're not necessarily going to factor. So you probably will need some sort of calculator when we do some of these things.
Is this for you or?
No, this is new.
Okay.
You have not seen this before. Remember what this graph looks like. It looks like a parabola. It could be this. I'm going to put all in one graph. It could be this. Ready? Put your feet down, please. Or it could be this. Might not cross the x-axis at all. Well, these numbers in here tell me if it crosses the x-axis, how many times?
102.
We're not doing that. The discriminant is just this piece that's under the square root symbol. So why did we simplify radicals? So that we could do this. That's the reason why we started with that. Eventually, we're going to put it all together, and we're going to, thank you, Julian, we're going to put it all together, and we're going to actually use this quadratic formula. We're going to do it, well, I'll get there when I get there. Henry, what do you need?
I'm stretching.
No, Henry.
Well, I was stretching. I was doing it.
Henry.
Why is it always me then?
I didn't say anything to you, Joe.
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 I'm talking to Henry. Okay. No, I'm talking to Henry. That's because he was reaching over to you. Okay. If you don't get through the material, you don't get your credit in quadratic. You have to get through the material. So that's right. You guys can screw around, for the whole rest of the year. That's fine by me. But guess what? You're back in quadratic next year, and you have to have 3 years of math. Oh, I'll be right back. Yes, that's good. All right. I would like to be able to teach this. So these are the numbers that come before the x's. We're just going to deal with this. Now, can you square root a negative number? Have you tried doing that?
No,
No, you
it's a
can't.
positive.
Actually, yeah, you can.
Well, you know what? I have a calculator here. Let's try it. So I'm going to quit. And I have some calculators you could use. Otherwise, you could use your calculators on your iPad. So I want to do a square root. Square root is right above this. Well, I can't see it, so. But there's the square root. You want to try -1?
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Error.
It says not real.
Why does it say non-real? What do you mean not real?
Same thing. It's the same thing. Non-real. That's how they write it in math language. So you can't square root a negative number. You can if you go to the imaginary numbers. There's real numbers, and there are imaginary numbers. Now, the imaginary numbers are not imaginary. Henry, do you need to go to the SPR room?
What did I do?
No, I know I don't know what you're trying to do, but I know you are.
This.
Henry,
I was just going like this.
Joe, you can go with him to the SPR room. No, you're not. Please, let's not get into this. So this is what we're trying to do. So if we get this lesson understood, I think we'll be lucky. Look at that. What in the world is all that?
It's A.
Yeah, I told you this was not going to be an easy lesson. But let's take these problems. Let's take y equals x squared plus 2x minus 3. Oh, I have an idea. Yep. And it's probably going to take more than 1 day to get this worksheet done.
What happened to the last page?
It's still there.
Wait, I thought we were doing the line is.
It's still there. You got it. This part under here is called the discriminant. It tells me how many times the graph will cross the x-axis. If this is a negative number, guess what? You can't square root a negative number, can you?
No.
So if b squared minus 4ac, if that piece is negative, how do I write negative? Less than, negative numbers are less than
Positive.
0.
Oh.
Then there are no x-intercepts. Yeah, it'd be good for you to write it down. If this is equal to 0, then there is one x-intercept. And if this is greater than 0, there are two x-intercepts. It's because I haven't been able to get a complete sentence out in the class today. I'm going to show you how to do it. I haven't shown you how to do it. But this is the quadratic formula that everybody knows. And if you ask your parents, they probably still know it. Honestly, that's one formula that everybody knows. You can always solve a quadratic equation, which looks like this: ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. You can always solve it. You may not have any roots. You may not have any x-intercepts, but I know how to do that. There's a formula for it. There's a formula for one that says ax cubed plus bx squared, etc. That's a cubic. That one I can also solve, except I have no idea what the formula is, Henry. I've never seen it. I just know it can be done. After that, x to the 4th, can't do it. Well, you sometimes can, but there's no guarantee. So linear equations, you already know how to solve. These are quadratic equations. Why? This is called a quadratic class. Okay, so that's what we have to do. Okay, Jake, put your phone away, please. So that's what we're going to look for. So let's go over here and did the examples, but let's just do them. So should we look at the graph first? Do you want to see what it looks like? Usually helps to see what it looks like. That's okay. So we're going to look at this. And it's y equals, okay, I'm going to clear all this stuff out. I have some calculators. If you want to graph anything, it's what was it, x squared?
X squared plus 2x plus 3.
2x plus what? 3. Actually, I know that factors because I know how to factor those things. But we'll go ahead and look at it. Graph. Oh, because it doesn't factor. I'm lying. I'm thinking it has to be 4. Look at that one. That's not tall enough. So I'm going to go up here, and I want to see more of that. So I'm going to zoom 6, and I'll show what I mean by not nice numbers. If I trace here, x equals 0, that's nice, but look at those. Those are not nice numbers, Suzanne. I don't want to deal with those, but there it is. This graph does not cross the x-axis. Well, it's minus 3. Whoa, so I've graphed the wrong thing. Plus 3 doesn't work, but minus 3, if you copy it, if I get the right information, let's do that. Minus 3. Okay, so it has 2 x-intercepts. I can find out how many there are, and this is on the ACT. It may be on the MCAs as well. I'm not sure. Well, not for math. Math is your junior year.
This next week.
There's reading, writing, and math. Okay, so all we're going to do is look at this b squared minus 4ac. So y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So what's a equal to?
2.
No, a is the number in front of x squared. Henry? What's a equal to? 1. What's b equal to? 2. Henry? Please face forward. C is equal to what? Minus 3. So what I'm going to do is evaluate that. That's that number that's under the square root. Showing you why that formula is what it is hard work. I can't do it. We don't have the tools to do it yet. You just have to believe me that that's the formula. So it's b squared minus 4ac. Now I want you to get this right. So if you substitute in b, you must have parentheses. Because if that's a negative number, you're going to make a mistake with the sign. So it's minus 4, and then it's a, and then it's c. I get my parentheses all set to go. I'm going to show you a better way to do that with the squaring. And a is what? 1, and c is negative 3. Careful. So what's 2 squared? 4. Now, when I multiply these together, will it be positive or negative? And you may use a calculator.
It's going to be a positive 12.
It's positive. Because 2 negatives make a positive 12, so this is 16. Because that is a positive number, that means there are 2 x-intercepts. I don't care what the value is. If it is 0, then there's only 1 x-intercept. Okay? It's not particularly hard to do. Now, here's the thing. When I do this, I don't show the substitution for b. I don't even recommend you do it. Show the substitution. Just square it. Here's b. What's 2 squared? 4. Then I do show this substitution. I do show that one. And a was 1 and c was negative 3. Okay? You should be writing this down. Do you not have a packet? Yes. Shh. What? That's a box above. Yes, I'm just doing them. But you should probably do them, and we could maybe start a couple problems off the worksheet. Joe, you sit back there, and you need your packet. No, I didn't. I was talking to Henry. Okay. Everything's here. I save it all. Let's do the next problem. Y equals x squared plus x plus 4. Just because it's there doesn't mean you know how to do it. So we better do that. X, and I know the work is there, but that's hard to read. Plus 4x plus 4. You may use notes. The discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So let's write them down. What's a? 1. B is 4, and c is 4. Okay? Okay, Lucas? These are the numbers in these are the numbers in front of the letters. The formula is this. Y equals A, and these are good questions, Lalo, plus BX plus C. Okay, you guys? So A is the number in front of x squared. B is the number in front of x. I know it's different than y equals mx plus b. This is standard form, and c is equal to 4. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do this b squared minus 4ac. But let's not show the substitution on b squared. Let's just do it. What's b? 4. What's 4 squared? Squared. It's 16 minus 4. Now I want to see the substitution because I'm going to mess up. Okay, a is what? 1? C is 4? Ooh, I get 16 minus 16, which is 0. So then that means there's only one solution.
0 equals 0.
Yep, 0 is equal to 0. Excellent, Joe. So there's only one x-intercept. Because I've told you what the deal is. Because remember, the b squared minus 4ac is what's underneath this radical. If this is negative, not yet. I'm going by the order in which the quadratic teachers teach it. I wouldn't teach it in this order. But so b squared minus 4ac, if that's negative, then there are no intercepts. If it's equal to 0, then that term goes away, and there's 1. If this is a positive number, then it's 2. That's what you need to know, and you can write it down because you can have notes. You can have notes in your test. I don't care. Yeah, I've been telling you that all year. Because if you know how to use notes, then you know how to look things up. Okay, Joe? We're going to try this one. Last one now. What's the last one? X squared plus 3x plus 6. And it could be on the MCAs. I don't know. So it's y equals x squared?
Yeah.
X squared plus 3x plus 6.
Okay, first you want to find out what A, B, and C are. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And then what we're going to do is we will put it together with the whole quadratic formula after we practice with the discriminant. So A is 1,
B is 3.
Jake,
C is 6.
B is 3, and C is 6. Okay, so what's the formula? Do you remember? B squared minus 4ac. So what we're doing is, before we simplified radicals, Henry, now you're going to see some radicals here. You're going to have to simplify them soon. And then we're going to put everything together and be able to solve a quadratic equation. We're just doing little pieces. Okay, what's B?
3.
So B squared is?
9.
9, good. Minus 4 times A times C. What's A?
1.
1. And C is? 6. So if I simplify this, this is 9 minus what?
Minus 15.
4 times 6. 24, right?
Minus 15.
I don't even care what the value is. What's true about it? Is it positive, 0, or negative? It's, isn't that negative number?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if this is a negative number, that means that number under that square root is going to be negative, and we can't do that. So there are no roots, no zeros, no x-intercepts. And that's, I believe, all there is in that little packet. So we have a worksheet, which will probably take us more than today, because it's actually quite long. So if you need those notes or these notes, whatever works for you. I don't really care. It's whatever works. Okay. And it's on the pink sheet as well. So let's do number 1 together. And then we're going to take a quiz on, oh, do I have to take that too? And we're going to do a quiz on simplifying radicals, and you're going to prove to me that you know how to do it. Yes, you may. I got to find it. I should have it up front. Okay. Try the first one. it depends on how well you get this, if you get it at all. It's how fast it's going to take us. Lucas, wake up.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I don't get why you don't do that.
Because the class is so small.
What?
Okay, are we ready? Does everybody have a pink sheet?
We're not doing it together, are we?
I'll start the first one together. Because you know what? A is not 1 this time.
Wow.
Okay, Suzanne, help me out here.
Okay,
Yes. Let's do this one with me.
I want to do it.
Have a seat. Have a seat, please. Okay, it's y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. First, write down what a, b, and c are. Okay, girls, you should write this down on your sheet. I don't know. A is equal, I just want to do one problem with you. That's it. 2. B is equal to what, Henry? 10.
and C is -3.
And C is equal to -3 or +3?
Positive.
C is equal to 3. Okay, what are numbers? What's the formula?
B squared.
Minus 4AC. Okay, what's B squared? Taylor, what's B squared? 10 squared? No, what's B? Careful. It's B. What's 10 squared? 10 times 10 is 100. Minus 4. Pardon?
Wait, so where does this go?
Right here on your sheet. There's room there. You're going to find the discriminant. This is what we're finding. And then how many solutions there are. What's A?
2.
2. And C is 3. All I care about is if it's positive or negative. You want practice with arithmetic, be my guest. But I don't really care. What's 4 times 2 times 3? Not yet. 4 times 2 is 8 times 3 is 24. How does that compare to 0? Bigger?
6.
I don't care what the number is. Is it positive or negative or 0?
Positive.
It's positive. How many solutions are there then? 2. So that's what you need on that line for the discriminant. Okay.
That's the only thing I don't get. How do you know how many solutions there are?
I'll say it again. You have to believe me. B squared minus 4AC. If that's a positive number, there's 2. If this is, that's the number of solutions.
There's 2. There's 2 solutions.
If it's equal to 0, then
Okay, I get everything.
the parabola touches just once.
Discriminant 100 minus 24.
76. Is it good enough for me? All I care about is positive or negative.
Wait, can I just put 76?
Yeah, but who wants to do all that work? Okay, what if it's negative? How many roots? None. That's it. That's what you have to know. And it's written right up here. Yeah, we have a couple days on this. So this is not the only day. Yes, now you may. Yep. Now I'm going to find out if you really know how to do this. If you do well, I'll put it in summative. If you don't do well, I'll put it in formative. Yes. Yes. Oh, I missed Joe back there.